show. It's a Sebon podcast show. Everybody's welcome. Peace and love. It's a Sebon podcast show. Bam, we're live.
Bam, we're live. Yo, there he is. There's Matt Souza. Oh, I haven't been on a show with Matt Souza in forever. There he is this morning. There he is. Kill Taylor's show is doing great. I wonder if tomorrow, I wonder if next week, I wonder if the money has an influence on it. Let me see. Oh, yep. The biggest Kill Taylor show was episode 7. There was $1,500 on the line. Wow. The retention on those shows is crazy. What's up, Caleb?
Morning.
Shit,
so good.
Beyond, this is awesome. When's the last time all three of us have been on?
It's been a while. It's gonna be a party.
I see Sousa's camera's on. I'm guessing, I bet you he ran back. You want to make a bet? I bet you he ran back to get coffee.
Ray had to take a shit.
Oh.
I always have like an emergency poop right before.
Wow.
Before we
Okay.
start a show.
You're going with poop. I'm going to go with coffee. I had to lower my mic. Sorry, is my mic too loud? I saw that, Christian. I just saw that this morning. Andrew Hiller's vehicle had a tree fall on it. Andrew Hiller's vehicle kind of has its own story. It was he was stolen out of his parking lot one time, and I think the story starts off as he absolutely loved his vehicle, and then it was stolen, and all of a sudden he kind of fell out of love with it a little bit. What's up, Souza? I saw you turn your camera on and then you were gone. I'm gonna go with you forgot your coffee. Caleb thinks you had emergency shit.
Coffee.
Yes, I appreciate Caleb though coming up with a shit. It's a good guess, right? If like on Family Feud, that'd be number 2.
Absolutely,
ding,
yes.
ding, 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 yeah.
Literally number 2.
Yeah. So it looks like Andrew loved this car. He bought it. I think he went out on a limb. I don't think it's a cheap car. He bought it. He loved it, and then it was stolen from his driveway, and it kind of like tainted it for him. I felt like he thought it was never gonna like the same again. And then it looks like just last night, a tree blew on his car.
I feel like they have the worst luck of anybody I know.
Glad this dude cares about nothing. I'm gonna bet that he uses it to just buy another car.
That's so sad.
This is not. Oh my god!
Oh my god! Look at their yard, dude.
Damn.
Destroyed. You can't spray paint those buildings.
You can't. Yeah, right.
You're gonna have to remove them.
That's a joke that Caleb's making because at one point Andrew had some dead bushes in his yard and he spray painted them green. That's an old story. Wow, that's from year 1 of Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
Went to the yearbook on that one.
I guess they call Chicago the Windy City, right? Is that the city they call it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right.
Wow, dude, that's crazy what happened to his yard.
Like this could kill somebody.
I hope his house is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
seriously.
I hope his house is okay. I was watching I watched that Craig Howard video that Andrew did. It was really good. Then I saw the one he did on the DEI lady at CrossFit. That was really good. And then he did one on Fykovsky, and that one was really good. They were all just 3 great, but I feel like I shouldn't say but, and I feel like he's mellowed a little bit. Not in a bad way, but I just feel like
he's pulling punches or no?
Yeah. Like he's no, not pulling punches,
He's more tempered. It's like a sober approach a little bit more.
Yeah, tempered and sober. And I'm also not suggesting that I like it. But I don't dislike it. I'm still kind of working my way through it. Like sometimes, like when I watch the I didn't see it, but someone said in the Fikowski one, Fikowski said that, oh, thanks for agreeing with me. And I didn't think Hiller was agreeing with him on shit. Even though in the beginning he said, I do agree with you on some things. It's like I thought the things that he claimed he was agreeing with Fikowski on were so insignificant that it didn't constitute agreeing. Andrew's the John Stossel of CrossFit. Oh, interesting. For those of you who don't know, John Stossel is like a Reason. I think he's like a Reason magazine, like super libertarian. He used to be a huge contributor to Fox. I don't know what happened. Anyway, 3 great videos. If you haven't seen those videos, you got to go watch those videos. They're great. They're great. I don't think I do think even though I really have been enjoying the time that I've been spending with Brent, his calling in the show, and then his time at the West Coast Classic. I thought his interview with Men's Health magazine or whatever that was just atrocious, and just complete. Not because he was bad. He always presents good. He kind of reminds me of Johnny Depp. Any movie Johnny Depp's in, I just like, even if the movie's shit. But he should not be concerned about the promotion or the growth of the sport at all. He has no value add contribution thoughts to it at all, like none, 0. And just to give you an example, like Brent was basically saying that the popularity of the sport, Brent was saying that people are leaving the sport because of the bad judging and the bad maybe it's the bad movements or the danger or just stuff that's involved with the competition that a union could help build. And then he tried to draw some correlate that only big sports have like players unions or like people who are worried about the players. Like there was some, like you needed that, right? Like to get on the roof, you need a ladder. He was suggesting like to be big, you need it's just asinine correlates.
Is that why so many people do high rocks then?
It's just such bad thinking. A high rocks is just another Spartan race or Tough Mudder, or like even to compare CrossFit to high rocks is just clickbait. It's all just bad thinking. Like, and the fact that anyone and then he basically Fikowski also says in there, yeah, people are leaving CrossFit to go to other sports, but then basically says people are going to those other sports because they're easier. Well, fine, go. Who cares? It's like the same people who for some reason thought CrossFit was not inclusive and now have built these gyms that are super exclusive under the guise of being inclusive. Just leave. Don't try to be everything to everybody. Get the fuck out. The gym that takes the vaccinated and unvaccinated is the inclusive gym. You know, don't show me the gym that only has gay people working out in it and then tell me it's inclusive. Show me the gym in South Carolina that has gay people in it. It's just bad thinking. It's sloppy. It's woke nonsense.
A union is gonna make it better.
Yeah,
definitely Canadian.
I know.
Canadian.
It's crazy. Did you see Saxon's doing tactical games this weekend? No, I did not. I don't really know much about tactical games. I think of tactical games. The only thing I've heard about tactical games is that it has an unfair bias slanted towards fitness, and that's why CrossFitters can do good at it. But I don't even know if that's true. But I've just heard that if there was a balance between the shooting and the fitness, but maybe that'll eventually balance itself out. It is weird if you have a sport. Well, let me ask you guys: do you guys think if you have a sport and the CrossFitters can just go over and dominate? Like CrossFitters could not go over and dominate UFC, not even a little bit. Like they have no. Oh, you're a little out of focus, Sousa. I don't care, but maybe you do.
I don't know why that happened. There it goes.
I don't think CrossFitters can go over and like dominate like the javelin throw or baseball or basketball or wrestling or ballet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, typically you would have more of like a field skill that you would need to acquire, not just a fitness level.
Yeah.
And if their fitness is carrying them that far in a sport, then it's probably imbalanced.
Yeah.
Like Jacob Winger can go over there without any fucking shooting experience and win.
Yeah, like in a couple of years, or even a year. I don't know how quickly. Did he win? Did Jacob Hepner become the tactical games champion?
Yeah, I think he did it a couple times.
Yeah.
Is he good at shooting? I see him post it all the time, but I don't know.
Just because you shoot doesn't mean you're good. So
yeah, I think he has discipline and a good like practice work ethic. But I think when I've talked to Dave about going to shooting competitions, it's just him and Filipino dudes. And
yeah, all of the competitions that he hosts at the ranch are just Filipino dudes.
and I haven't
And
seen
he doesn't
any
even win
Filipino,
them. He doesn't even win his own competitions, which is honestly hilarious
and I don't see Filipino dudes at tactical games. Maybe there are.
because they don't do CrossFit.
Yeah, right. Sevi, are you and Dave gonna get Dave on to talk about his thoughts on finishing the Bible? Sure. I'd love to do that. I did speak to Dave yesterday, and yesterday in the evening, I called him to try to talk to him, and he said he couldn't talk because he's watching some show on TV called Chosen or something.
Oh, isn't that a show about the Bible?
Yeah, I think it's a Jesus show. On the other hand, I was watching I'm watching this show called Boys.
The Boys.
And
Not a Bible show.
I cannot recommend that show. It's just a pure it's pure anti-Christian pro-homosexual propaganda. That's all it is. The entire show. I mean, I don't mind it, but that's all it is.
Wow.
I'm 7 shows in and all I see is dick and dudes kissing. I haven't seen any pussy.
Who recommended that show for you?
There's one scene where this lady's face fucking this guy and she face fucks him so hard his head explodes. And there's another scene where this chick, to keep her job, has to suck the guy's dick, but half the people who saw the show don't know that because it's just implied because they don't even show any head bobbing. It's crazy. The show's great. The show's crazy, but there's dudes kissing in it, and it's a trip. It's a trip. Yeah. Yeah. It is a good. I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I just couldn't recommend it to anyone because I know that.
Watch that show.
Yeah, it's very progressive.
Heads explode, get chopped in half. Dude, it's fun. It's real fun.
I agree. It's very progressive. Is it a reality show? Yeah, it's kind of a reality show.
Very real. Laser beams coming out of eyeballs.
Just in the sense
flying through the air.
Just in the sense it's a reality show that, like, I suspect that the superheroes are like totally obsessed with, like, everyone's totally obsessed with social media and how they present to the world. And I suspect that I'm surrounded by that and just don't know that in real life. I suspect it's very close to reality. Sevon, I thought you work hard, but then find time for nonsense. What gives? I haven't watched it's a great question. I haven't watched like a series since Yellowstone. And Andrew the other day was talking about The Boys. Andrew recommended something else to me the other day. I can't remember what it was. Some movie we watched he told me about some movie and I watched it and it was complete propaganda, but he didn't see it that way at all, which I get it. He's just not viewing the world through that lens. But
what was
it? I can't remember what it is. You know, I'm in this debate with a bunch of people who in my DMs, there's several of you who want to insist that God's not real and just bash God and bash the people who think he's real. And like, I wish those people knew that I used to be that person and I get it, but that's your religion now. Why would you? It's not that you think, why do I accept it? It's just not my religion to bash Christians anymore. But that's your religion. And I get it. I was there at one point too. But that doesn't have to be your religion. Like they want to insist so much that it's fake and that there's no religion, but they're just as fake. They've made it their religion, their imaginary agenda to bash religion. It's crazy. So,
it's crazy that they fight with you in the DMs about it. What I don't understand.
One person's like, hey, you just can't be honest about God because you're pandering to your base. I'm like, listen, that couldn't be further from the truth. And there's so much shit I like about religion. There's so much shit I like about religion. So yeah, my kids I watched the I watched the $6 Million Man as a kid, the A-Team. Now my kids are watching Knight Rider. I got the DVDs and I just play it in the car on long trips, and they fucking love that shit. You know what their takeaway
Do you
from
have a Blu-ray player in your van?
just a regular DVD player. But my boys have noticed that they're like, hey, a lot of girls like Michael Knight. I'm like, yeah.
In the show?
Yeah, in the show. I don't remember that. And I can't see it. I can only hear it. I listen to the shows. No Bionic Woman. I wasn't a fan of the Bionic Woman, Jamie Summers. Call me sexist. I don't know. Yeah, the chicks, they said that just tons of chicks dig him.
He's handsome. Look at that hair.
Yeah.
And that open collar, you know? Get that
Yeah,
TV, a little bit of hair through the top.
Did he invent the pop collar?
I don't know. Could have. That leather jacket.
I want to show you guys this series of videos. If I can find him. What was the guy's name who was on our show? Bill. Do you remember the assemblyman? I thought I was going to interview him for a long time.
Saley.
Yeah, Bill Saley.
Yeah, Bill Saley. I want to show you. Oh, Sarika, hey, what's up? Good to have you back. Smart. Hey, man, become a member. Become a CEO member. Support the podcast. Every morning, 7 a.m. Right now, there's some stuff behind the paywall that only you can see. Yada, yada, yada.
Something new, too, right?
Yeah, something new just came out this morning, right? Episode 2 for the West Coast Classic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what my sister does? My sister watches the shows and then sends me a list of all the athletes who are in it. And then I send them a private link.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
Yeah. Did you send one to Haley Adams?
As many as I can. I maybe I did if she was in it. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, she was a huge focus for the first 2 episodes of East.
I have to have your phone number. Okay, listen to this. So I know some of you think that this is just like propaganda and it's not true, but I'm going to show you 3 videos, and this is how crazy it is on the West Coast of the United States, California, Oregon, and Washington. Okay, watch this Bill Saley guy. Let me read it to you first. Democrats removed me from my committee because I forced a vote on my bill to protect our children from pedophiles. Okay, here we go.
I got word that I'm being removed from my committees. Some of you will recall last week I brought a bill to remove sanctuary state protection for pedophiles in the state of California, and the Democrats here did not like that. So they cut off my microphone, and I just got word that the Speaker of the State Assembly, who runs the place, has removed me from my committee. But you know what? That's okay. I wear this as a badge of honor. It means I'm doing the right thing. It means I'm looking out for the people of this state and for children who are being victimized by these illegal immigrants. So bring it on, more to come.
Sounds pretty simple, right? A bill that makes it so if you're an illegal immigrant and you're caught for pedophilia, the laws of sanctuary state don't apply to you. Seems fair, right?
Yep.
Grab the guy.
Sanctuary state.
grab the guy and toss him out. Okay. Then let me show you this. So basically what that means is, anyway, I'm going to play a little bit more for you. Hold on a second. Here we go. Give me 1 second. I think this video might have an ad in it. California progressive. So can you guys hear that?
No.
Okay, good. The title of this article is California progressive chides fellow Democrats before voting to make child solicitation a felony. I'm done. So this is Susan Telemate's Eggman. Hardcore progressive in California, hardcore. And you know the progressive things, right? Basically, they're the racists and the bigots under the guise of doing nice things for people in the state of California, right? Punish people for their skin color who are white, take away rights of the individual, and give them to groups. Okay, now I want you to listen to her. This is in the state assembly here in California.
Member of this body for
Can
the
you hear
last
it?
12 years.
Mhm.
Yep.
I'm done. I'm done with us protecting people who would buy and abuse our children. I'm done. I don't want to send more black and brown men to prison. I don't want more people in prison, but I don't want people buying girls. I don't want people buying little girls anymore.
This is as progressive as you get, people. This is Stockton, California's home of the vato, the cholo. Tell us how you feel. Okay. And look at her haircut. And this is just as progressive as they get. By any means necessary, keep black and brown people out of jail. Even at the cost of higher incidents of murder and crime in their areas, under the guise of helping them, keep them out of jail.
And I'm tired of saying it's okay. And we have to protect the men who do it. As a mental health professional and as a social worker, I can tell you I've spent my entire career
Complete nut job, right? Mental health professional. I mean, complete lunatic. Her entire profession is built on fucking pseudoscience, on surveys, on bullshit.
On surveys.
who have been wounded. I'm not going to say beyond repair, but they have been wounded to their core by the abuse that's been heaped on them, oftentimes by those that they love and look to protect them. And if their parents won't do it, then by God, we should. Again, I am not arguing that we open the gates to flood our prisons with people, but I am arguing we have a moral responsibility to say enough. Enough. We have given away enough on this area.
So she's saying that black and brown people who are busted for sex trafficking, pedophilia, rape, those things should have to do the same time in crime as white people. Oh, fuck. Jesus criminy. Did I lose it?
No, there it is. You just have to pull it forward a little bit.
I wonder if I have to watch the ad again.
Yeah, you do.
Son of a bitch. And she goes on and on and on about it. That basically she's not going to toe the party line. She's not going to toe the party line anymore. She's done. This is in California. This is in Sacramento. She's giving this this talk. There's just bear with me here. There's just like another 30 seconds of it. You got to hear it. But you won't believe the climax of what the video I'm going to show you next. You're not even going to fucking believe it. Absolutely fucking nuts.
And if their parents won't do it, then by God, we should. Again, I am not arguing that we open the gates to flood our prisons with people, but I am arguing that we have a moral responsibility to say enough. Enough. We have given away enough on this area, and we've got to move back into the center, or we all look like fools and laughing stocks. And what do we stand for? I ask all of you to watch the documentary that Senator Grove was in, Senator from Kern County was just in, that talked about this very place in Sacramento where girls are being bought and sold. Men are being given a slap in the hand or a couple days, and then they're back out again, and they do the same thing. They get caught over and over and over again, and somehow that's okay. It's not okay. It is not okay anymore, and no more am I watching. Like I said, I'm leaving, but the rest of you who are going to be here for a while, let's get our stuff together and really start focusing on some of the important things. We talk about learning, and we talk about being safe. This is like at the core of it. And a lot of these kids can be throwaway kids. They're poor kids. They're kids of color. But they shouldn't have to live a life determined by what happens to them by others at a very young age, and by have the Democratic Party of California say it's okay. It's not okay.
So there's the admonition, right? She's a super progressive, been a progressive for 12 years, way out there on the fringe, and she's leaving so she can be brave now, and she doesn't want she's tired of the Democrats protecting pedophiles, slave trade, sex trafficking, all that shit happening in Sacramento, happening all over the state of California. She's done. It's weird, right? You can't even believe it's like, duh.
Yeah, I wonder what that tipping point was for her. She supported all that shit to get it to the point where it's at now.
Unfortunately, I bet it's that she's leaving. And then for those of you guys who don't know, just yesterday or 2 days ago, a guy who crossed the border from Ecuador raped and killed a girl, and he was stopped at the border and then released. That's a big story that's breaking right now. Okay. You're not even going to fucking believe this. This is in Portland, people. And this is a guy who is pretending to be a 14-year-old girl meeting up with a pedophile. Okay? You're not even going to fucking believe what you're about to see.
So you know why I'm here, obviously, right? This is you, right? So I'm not here to hurt you.
Okay.
I want to have a conversation with you, though. You think we can talk about this?
Yeah, in a civil manner.
Yeah, I haven't yelled at you or anything, right? I mean, you can ask him why he's here if you want to ask.
Oh, I live in the neighborhood and I do a lot of mutual aid for the houseless.
I live in. So some lady has approached him while he's meeting a pedophile to hopefully stomp his face into the ground. She says, "I work for the houseless population, for drug addicts and thieves, to make sure that they're okay."
Oh no, he's not houseless. He has plenty of homes.
To make sure that he was not being harassed.
Oh, am I harassing you? You want to tell her why you're here? Or you want to just probably move along? Yeah.
Is everything okay?
Not really, but
Do you want him to go away?
Do you want to talk about this? Or?
I do. I want to talk about
Right.
it.
So.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that the brown person was safe.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure the brown person was safe. You guys,
Holy shit,
how
dude.
is anyone voting Democrat anymore?
Just want to make sure the brown person's okay.
Oh my
Doesn't even matter what they did, just the fact that they were brown.
Oh, it's crazy.
The brown person is safe.
Yeah, because we take
Have a
care
good
of
day. Have a good day. Have a good day.
We take care of brown people in this city. Listen, if someone, I'm going to tell you right now, if I see someone talking to this guy, I don't ask if he's okay. I ask if the person who's talking to him okay. My spider senses is just going off crazy looking at this guy.
Yeah, for sure. Look at him, dude. Fucking creepazoid.
Sevy, don't judge a book by a cover. Sorry, too late.
Yeah, that's tough.
This is the step into Portland right here.
She had blue hair.
What's up, man?
Not much.
So what are you doing here? You understand why I'm here, obviously.
I do.
Okay. So
You're not here to fight me or anything.
if I was here to fight you, bro, I would have put you in the river already.
Okay.
Right? You came right here to the river.
Yeah,
You
we
think
just-
that? How long do you think you've been talking to this girl?
A few weeks.
So there on camera, we have a progressive Dem protecting brown pedophiles. You shouldn't protect white pedophiles, black pedophiles, yellow pedophiles, in all the colors, blue pedophiles. It's like real time. It's everywhere. It's real time. It is fucking nuts.
That's absolutely crazy.
It is nuts.
But that homeless dude was there to meet the girl, right? He didn't believe he was the 14-year-old girl.
That guy, he's not homeless because he's got a computer and shit. He thought that the guy holding the camera talking to him, he thought that guy was a 14-year-old girl. And that guy's like, hey, meet me by the river. So he went there to the river to fuck a 14-year-old girl to confront him, to tell him, hey, stop doing that. And some progressive white woman came to protect
the homeless dude.
The perceived houseless. And that's the whole thing. That's the superiority complex. He's not houseless. You have to understand, Democrats see brown and black people and they think you're garbage and that they have to save you. They've always thought that about you.
It's their moral obligation.
I was surrounded, and it comes under the guy. Yeah, exactly.
Shit, right? Because I grew up and we were all equal. So we made fun of each other and it was funny. Because we're all up, right? And now you make a joke like, you can't do that. It's like, why? He's below you. I'm like, that's kind of cool, actually. I didn't think about it like that.
They think it's crazy.
Holy shit.
They think you're below them. It's funny too, because that lady Egelman, that congresswoman, she said moral responsibility. That's the problem. When you're a Democrat, I used to be one. You don't have any morals. You don't have morals or values. That not because like you choose not to have them. You just don't. You don't think like that. You don't. Those aren't paradigms that you put your life under. And so these people, when I hear people who are anti-Christianity, I hear it against people who are against morals and values. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that they're upset that they have an imaginary God. They just use that to lean on. They just can't get their head wrapped around that there's a group of people who have morals and values. They just cannot get their head wrapped around that. Because they don't think of their own life like that at all. They're just all about like social construct. That's all it is for them. Social construct.
Yeah, and at least our Christian friends are aware of where they get their morals from.
Yes.
What they're following. The
Yes.
other ones don't even realize that they're actually following it.
Yeah. I'm gonna add a new letter to the LGBTQP community. LGBTQP. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, tranny, queer, and pedophile. I don't know what they're waiting for. I'm gonna do it for you guys. I'm gonna throw the letter on there for you. LGBTQP.
They already made the flag for it. You just have to add the letter.
Epic Skate 3 fart. Hello, old people. Hello, hello, loser who has no savings and plays video games all day and has pimples and eats M&Ms and is going to die of type 2 diabetes. Hi.
Are you just
welcome to
saying
the
that because
show.
it's Twitch? It's Twitch.
Yeah. How do I know you're a loser? You're from Twitch.
Oh, that was just
Your name is Epic Skate Fart.
How do I know you masturbate more than have intimate contact with another human being and have the enjoyment of orgasms with them? Twitch. Yeah. How do I know that when you watch The Boys and the guy fucks dolphins that you actually think that might be an option for you? To fuck dolphins.
Twitch.
Always down to try something once.
Caller, hi.
You're watching this on Twitch.
Hi, caller. Did you guys hear the caller call in?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder why I can't hear him. Caller?
They're Twitch.
They're calling from Twitch.
Hold on, caller. Hold on. I think we got Houston. We have a problem. Surprise, surprise. Fucking Twitch.
Hey, what the fuck? Chill, bro.
Wet mouth sounds.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Sorry, not you.
Okay,
What mouth has been around for a while, so you're good.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
Ron's watching on Twitter. I don't know if we want to.
Yeah. Twitter. What do you hate this country? Why are you using Twitter? Caller, hi. I think we lost the caller.
I play video games and crank my hog.
What else are you gonna do?
I think the phone is fixed if you want to I think if you want to call in. Olivia, my husband catches pedophiles, was given police officer of the year for catching 16 pedos. They thought they were meeting up with children, but my husband instead. It's a scary world. 16 in a year.
Damn. I hope he took the cheap route and just put one between the eyes. Save American taxpayers some money.
That chairperson for the Maryland Democrat Alphabet Soup Committee getting caught talking to a 14-year-old boy was wild. Yeah. Thank you, Craig, for bringing that up. So in Maryland, there's a organization there called LGBTQP Democrats, and their head just got caught in a sting like that, trying to meet up with a 14-year-old boy. And the shit and the guy reads the text and he's like, I can't wait to pound your ass and I can't wait for you to taste my poop dick. And it was just crazy. It was crazy shit that he was saying to this 14-year-old.
Jesus Lord.
I know. It was disgusting. Sorry, caller, I lost you.
Poop dick.
Yeah, it's yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys want to keep going down the avenue of sucking dick. I don't know if you remember this guy. This guy's a famous European talk show host, I think in the UK. I wish I could remember his name. Oh, watch this. He got busted for not a girl and then having her suck his dick and then giving her a job.
We are not touching. So
how long has this actually been since we've done this?
A long time. April, March.
So like almost 6 months.
Yeah.
What, you've done this before through a curtain?
We have not done this before. This is the first time we've ever done this.
In the shower.
Yeah. Although there was that Christmas.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, where does my face go?
COVID shit.
Oh my
COVID
gosh.
shit.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What a bizarre touching moment.
Oh, I don't want to let go.
Someone said Vince McMahon. I think what Vince McMahon was doing. So anyway, let me finish this and I'll go to Vince McMahon. So this is some guy named Philip. He met some girl at a really young age when she was like 15 or something. Stayed friends with her. Eventually got her a job when she was over 18 to work on whatever talk show he was working on. And then she sucked his dick and he got in trouble for it. But I mean, you can see how this is. If you're doing this shit on TV, you're insane. Anyway.
Yeah.
Now he has all these videos on TV where he's groveling and he's apologetic and how it's ruined his life. I think what Vince McMahon was doing, if I read the article, what Vince McMahon was doing is, I think he hired a chick to like be his assistant or something. And I think that over the course for years, he would basically bring her into meetings and lay her on a table, and him and the boys would make her airtight. So he had this assistant and he put her on a table, and all the guys and all the corporate dudes over there at the WWE would stand around and just pick a hole and stick their dick in it. And,
God.
And I know it's crazy, right?
That's a hell of a board meeting.
But I think I'm 99% sure she was over 18 and she stuck around and did it forever until she didn't like it anymore. Oh, okay. McMahon, yeah, I heard he'd given her over $1 million. McMahon got sued for not paying the $2 million. She consented to all of it. Yeah, I think that's maybe what it was.
And it was a guy, not a chick?
It was a chick, yeah.
Dean said it was a guy.
No, it was a chick.
Hey, those wrestler dudes.
She was in her 40s, yeah. Yeah.
My cousin married a wrestler guy, Frank Murdoch.
Uh-huh.
They were married for a while until she found him banging one of the other younger wrestlers.
A boy or girl?
Boy.
Oh, I mean, here, listen. First of all, men will do anything. Nothing a man does should surprise you sexually. And then second of all, if you have a sport and it's just a shitload of juiced up guys, I mean,
touching each other.
Yeah, people are getting just all sorts of crazy dick in that sport. Anywhere there's just a ton of dudes and then they're on steroids, crazy shit's happening. Especially if it's thespians like WWE. I mean, that's what they are, right? The drama scene has crazy fucking sex in it. Crazy. It's like the restaurant business, but on steroids.
Yeah, literally.
Right? I mean, that's what it is.
Like yeah, the restaurant business is like that for sure.
Yeah, restaurant business is crazy. Yeah. I think waiters and bartenders are kind of top of the food chain, and managers.
Bartender for sure.
Oh man, I just coughed up something fierce.
Nice.
And I purposely don't keep tissues or paper towels in here. Damn it.
Purposely.
Yeah.
Go spit it outside.
Yeah, just go spit it outside.
I'm gonna swallow it.
Just put it in your shirt.
I swallowed it. That's not gonna surprise most of you. I swallowed it.
That's disgusting.
Oh yeah, I heard hospitals are like that too. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And airlines.
Really, airlines too, huh?
Yeah.
Flight attendants.
Flight attendants and pilots all flying all over.
Makes sense. Well, yeah, then they all stay in the hotels together. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hawk Tui.
Got to give it that.
What is can you tell me the story about the Hawk Tui girl? Is there a whole video where you can see what happened before and after that?
There is the original one, but it's not much different than the ones you're seeing. Yeah.
Like what does he ask her that she does that?
He literally like turns to her and a friend. Is like, what's the craziest sex thing you've done or story you have or something? Or
I don't know if this is the original, but we'll see.
Okay, here we go.
How many's on your roster?
There's only one I want. I love you, Pookie, forever.
How do you get over a breakup?
The only way to get over one is get under another. Make the cobwebs off this thing.
Don't miss. What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to and spit on that thing.
Oh, what move makes a man go crazy every time in bed? And it's the Hawk Tui.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, did that chick go into hiding? I heard she's just completely gone into hiding.
Yeah, she's deactivated all of her social media accounts. Yesterday or like last night, there was an article that came out saying that she got fired from her job. Like she's like apparently
she was fired.
She was some preschool. Well, this is all alleged. I don't think it's actually true because I could only find it in one place. But and the guy who did it was like he was doing one of these like in a reel. He was just being really annoying. But apparently, according to this article, which may or may not be true, is she's a preschool teacher or like a preschool person, and they were like, "We don't condone what she said," and blah 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 blah, and then they fired her. But
what don't they condone? They don't like spitting on penises. That's what it is.
No,
right?
it was like
you spit on the cock.
Like kids in her classes like had seen it, and so then they were just like spitting on each other or something. That's like this is entirely alleged. I have no idea if this is true.
If that is true, I'd blame the parents. So you gave your kid a cell phone and saw something wildly inappropriate for them to watch because you gave them permission to do it.
That's
so now
right.
I get fired.
Exactly.
So now it's just like a huge topic of discussion, spitting lugs on dicks. You think that there's there's been an increase in girls who are doing that?
There will be now for sure.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. You think that already like girls have incorporated that into their shit?
Oh, I know they have.
Wow. Wow.
If they're not doing it, you need to find yourself another woman or you need a teacher.
Show her that clip. Yeah,
or that hawk to it.
She's really cute.
Yeah, she is.
She's got the girl next door look for sure.
Yeah, totally. She's not all fake looking and stuff.
Yeah.
She's a vibe.
And she got she doesn't seem ghetto.
No. She seems very southern.
On Sunday she goes to church. On Sunday night she's hawk to.
That's right.
Hawk to. Hey, I wonder if it almost seems like there's some cultural appropriation there from like those New Zealand guys who do the haka. I wonder if they're going to start incorporating them in their dance. You know, they go haka.
Okay. All right. Maybe.
That Twitch guy's going to come back and make fun of us all again.
Bernie Gannon. If that's true, she should move from Tennessee to the West Coast. That education system would be fine. Wouldn't fire her. They'd put her in charge. Fair enough.
Right.
So we've gone to accepted penis talk to unaccepted penis talk. The person has to be over the age of 18 before you start talking about that. This is from Patrick Bet David's site. Chair of the LGBTQP Democrats of Maryland caught soliciting a minor. This is what we were talking about. I'll show you this video too. Michael Knappen, the chair of the Maryland Democrat LGBTQP Diversity Leadership Council, was reportedly caught romantically pursuing someone he believed was a 14-year-old boy in a sting operation. Knappen was confronted by men running the operation. Their exchange has been posted on X.
Anyway, you're the head of the LGBTQ Dems in Maryland. Okay. How long have you been in that position for? Since fall. Okay. Is that like a paid position? Okay. Just more of a volunteer type thing?
Why would you stay? Once you get caught, like they've set you up, why would you stay and talk to the dude?
As opposed to just like running, just like turning around and just like
like if I was in a store and I walked out with like a RX sugar bar in my pocket, code 720, I would just run.
Maybe it's because they think that they're like actually innocent or what they did isn't wrong, so they're just gonna talk their way out of it.
Do you think there's people who watch this and feel sorry for this guy?
I hope not.
I think there are.
Yeah, like that woman in Portland. She feels sorry for that guy.
Fuck.
No one's standing up for him, Whitey.
Is it like a super PAC or something, or is it just okay? This stuff said here, like, you know, I want to rape you. I want to see how much of a faggot you are. What was kind of said about that?
He said that to a 14-year-old boy. I want to rape you.
Hope you try to get away once I start fucking you.
Yeah.
I like the fantasy, and he seemed to enjoy it.
He liked the fantasy. I like the fantasy. He seemed to enjoy it. He's 14, dude.
And I didn't know
he seemed to enjoy it. It's because it was this big, hairy, fat dude on the right talking. I mean, he liked it.
this person, and I never intended to. No, of course.
The LGBTQP guys be yoked. Fuck, man. The lesbians and gays got to get away from these people. The homos and the lesbians, they got to get away. This is brand diminishing, having a P and hanging with the P's and the Q's and the T's.
No.
Mihira said it's okay if you want to jerk off looking at it, talking about your dick. And you said, stop by this morning so I can stretch your hole, faggot. Can't wait to make you my little...
So you can use faggot if you're a gay dude, like black people can use their word?
Yep. As long as it's... As long as you're the one that could be offended by the word, you could use the word. Isn't that the rule?
Just across the board?
Just across the board. Like if I'm part of that group and there's a word that is offensive to me, I could use it.
I never heard a Jew walk up to another Jew and be like, "What's up, kike?" Or
well,
Mexican walk up,
right people, you know.
You ever heard a Mexican walk up to a Mexican, call him, "What's up, spick?" You never hear that.
Call each other beaners. Mexicans call each other beaners, I think.
So beaner slides under the radar.
Yeah, beaner's cool. Beaner's
I thought
cool.
it was, "What's up, ese vato?"
That's like dude or bro, isn't it?
Yeah.
100%. There was a caller on a radio show last week that said Pride Month we should accept everyone, including pedos. The hosts were baffled.
Wow, amazing.
I don't ever want to hear another race say cracker. I never called another white dude cracker.
Yeah, because you can't be offended. You're white. Shut up.
Yeah.
You don't have any rights.
Learn the
around here.
rules,
Shut up.
asshole. Adam Blakesley, if you're a little gay and a little black, you can use both words. I'm a Mexican. I give you a pass for spick. Man.
Oh, boy. And this was...
What's up, Chink? It's a vanilla face. What's up, Goat?
Vanilla face.
I think that one's for whiteies.
Later that, or shit, 4 days later with no response. Can't wait to make you my little cum dump, baby boy.
He said that to a 14-year-old. I can't wait to make you a cum dumpster.
Jeez.
This is the leadership for the Democratic Party and the LGBTQ society. This guy hasn't been arrested, I don't think. Fucking wild. Man. And then they lie. Of course, we all know this lie. The Maryland Democratic Party understands that our state's diversity is its strength for engaging communities throughout Maryland. Diversity. That is not, you are the least diverse.
Sleepy's comment.
You are the least diverse. Walked in on cum dumpster. Talk on the Lord's Day. Sorry. My little sister is 14. The emotional immaturity to handle processing that is not there. I don't know what that means, but yeah. The Glintons did a podcast on the lady who called into iHeartRadio about accepting the pedos. What episode is that? Because I made it through. Is that the one that has Marissa Chancellor on it? Chandler? You called? Judy, I love you.
That's amazing.
That was Thursday's show. Large Fortune 100 companies are on board with this. I know it's wild.
Why?
It's interesting that Patrick Bet-David. I mean, he's going to have his own like media empire soon.
Yeah, he's going hard.
Yeah.
You know what's cool? Have you watched any of those debates that he does?
I've just seen clips.
Yeah,
like the one with Cuomo, it was huge, right? Chris Cuomo.
Dude, it's the equivalent of like, and I actually give a lot of respect to Cuomo for what he did because they basically like stood him up on stage and were like, "All right, gang, go ahead, throw your tomatoes at him."
Yeah, exactly.
But he does those debates live, and they're That concept is really cool. I wish it was closer. We would definitely go.
Yeah, Cuomo just went up there and basically everywhere he goes, he starts grabbing his ankles because of just all the dumb shit he said on CNN, right? That's proven wrong now.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, I give him respect for that.
Yeah.
His first victim. And it's my understanding that this suspect, this monster, fled to the United States illegally after committing the brutal murder of a young woman in El Salvador a month early in January of 2023.
Killed a woman in El Salvador, came to our border, got caught, was released, and then killed someone in the United States.
Once
that would not have happened under Trump. You guys have to understand that. He'd have had to have stayed in his country until he got his trial date. Or not his country, Mexico.
In our country, and likely emboldened by his anonymity, he brutally attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother during a home invasion in March of 2023 in Los Angeles. And as everyone, I believe, is aware, that was our first DNA match linking Rachel's case to the Los Angeles case. It has been a fear of mine that once we identified this suspect, the result would be exactly this. And I want to now direct these comments to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and to every member in both chambers of Congress. We are 1,800 miles away here in Harford County. We are 1,800 miles away from the southern border, and the American citizens are not safe because of failed immigration policies.
Shut up, cracker.
This is the second time in just 2 years that an innocent Harford County woman has lost her life to a criminal in our country illegally. Let me repeat that. 1,800 miles from the southern border, and this is the second woman in our county to be killed by an illegal alien. Suspects, in both cases, they are suspects from El Salvador with ties to criminal gangs. Rachel was not.
It's nuts. These stories are endless, by the way.
Yeah, do you see the top comments on that too?
That's right. It's okay. Just America does it in other countries, so
yeah, pure
illegal
idiocy.
aliens can do it in our country. It's
okay. Yeah, this guy's an idiot.
Those type of people are the ones that like argue to stay in the same spot.
And his account's private.
Of course, his account's private.
Pussy.
Bitch.
Who do you? One of the things Fikowski was saying is that athletes will be in the sport and they'll leave the sport when they get like bad judging or bad scoring or a movement that's like all like the rules around a movement are changing, and he's like, I know several people who've switched to high rocks. They've switched because they can't hang in CrossFit. It's like this crazy like victim mentality.
Yeah.
And it's like, who? Tell me who. And then I started wondering who's walked more people to the exit door from CrossFit, judging and coaching and events, or Andrew Hiller.
Just don't want to be in Hiller's crosshairs.
I'll ask Greg about this on Wednesday, but Susan and I were talking about this the other day. Susan actually brought this up to me, and he was talking about Greg's lease rents model. For those of you guys don't know, the way the model works is you have a pie, right? And CrossFit HQ would, let's say, take a small sliver of the pie, let's say 1% of the pie. And Greg's goal was to always grow the pie so that the pie grew, and that through that his 1% would grow. And he even he was like, hey, my percentage actually shrinks as the pie grows, but I still make money. So as the gas companies have done a lot of that. You know what I mean? Like the percentage that Exxon makes from gas is so fucking low, but they tiny. Yeah, same with Amazon. Caller, hi. What is going on? Hold on, caller. Hold on.
All good.
Okay, there you go. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Question about the behind the scenes. In 2015, when you recorded Camille in that speed snatch ladder, have you ever had some situation like that with the behind the scenes, just watching the new ones? I feel like those situations don't come up as much. Would you say so, or do you just not put that stuff out there?
No. The reason why it hasn't come up that much is just really because I haven't done that many behind the scenes.
Gotcha.
For those of you who don't know, what they're referencing is Camille had a complete meltdown in Carson on the floor during the snatch event. She went under the where the athletes stage. She went under the venue, and what was funny is she was sitting underneath a sign that had a John Wooden quote, and the line said, "Athletes don't show their character when times are easy; they show their character when times are hard," or something. And she was having this complete fucking meltdown, blaming the crowd, blaming the venue, blaming the judges, blaming the fans. At one point she even said to me, she said, "Hey, how are the fans not standing up for me?" And I was thinking to myself, that doesn't even make sense. You're on the field of play and you got a no rep and you want the fans to stand up for you. And so she was just completely losing her shit. And then that night when I got back to my hotel room, she sent me by the way, there was other camera guys that tried to approach her and film her, and she told them to go away. And so the other camera guys came to me. It was actually Michael Dalton specifically came to me and said, "Hey dude, I bet you she won't tell you to go away." So I went over there and she didn't tell me to go away. And I got like 5 minutes of poor Camille just completely coming unhinged. And then I got to my hotel room that night and there was an email to me and all the like 5 of the legal team at CrossFit and Nicole and Dave telling her, "Hey, you better not show that."
Because of her? Like
because she didn't like how it represented her.
Because she was that big of a star and she has that power, or was that just something you felt personally like, hey, I can't show this?
I think we showed a little bit of it in the behind the scenes.
Yeah, I remembered like Dave Lipson was trying to console her.
I would have
trying to make her laugh and stuff.
Here's the thing. If she would have, the only reason after that I ever wanted to show it was because she included all those other people. I was like, yo, bitch, you didn't have to include the legal team and like all these people. You could have just said it to me like, "Hey, Sevon, please don't show that." And I'd have been like, "Yeah, I understand. And I wouldn't have shown it. I mean, I don't want to build a bad relationship with any of the athletes, and I want them to trust me. And since then we've had athletes. We've done live shows with athletes where athletes have been like, they've said shit, and then afterwards been like, "Hey, can you take that out?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
So I don't know. I try to go to where when all the other camera people are chasing like all like the the booty shots and the the easy cheap TikTok shit. I try to go over, like I hung out with Colton for a long time. You guys will see in the behind the scenes after that final event in Carson. And it's tense. And you can see it when I follow Josh Bridges, I follow Dan Bailey, like when they've had just like collapses. So
yeah,
I mean, it's really uncomfortable as a camera person to do that. Like everything in your being is telling you don't do it. But then every time you do it in post-production, everyone's happy. Like to this day, I'm sure Colton's going to be stoked that I got that. And I'm sure, I know Josh was, Josh Bridges was very happy that I stayed with him.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
All right, cool. Thank you. I can't help it. I'm the best at what I do.
I got a little taste of that when Will Morad was injured and leaving the venue. Have you seen that yet?
Oh yeah. No. What happened?
It's in the second episode. Luke Parker was like, Will Morad's done, dude. Did you see? And I said, no. And he goes, yeah, I think he's injured or something. And I said, why did he drop out? And he goes, I don't know. He's right there leaving right now if you want to ask him. And I was like, oh shit. Just ran over there.
Yeah. And everything in your being's like, hey, give that dude space. It's his time. But the thing is afterwards, usually the athletes and everyone's so happy you got it. Cause it's like, it's a moment. It's a really, they're powerful moments that help people's image.
Yeah. He was really cool about it.
Right. He was.
Oh yeah. He was super cool and like talked to me for a while and couldn't help but feel for the guy. Especially when I was like, so where will you go right now? And then he just kind of like looks around. He's like,
that's a great question.
He's like, up these stairs. And I was like, okay. That was the end of the interview.
When Danielle Brandon was at Madison and something happened it was a lifting event and she came out and she did really poorly. The whole documentary team and everyone avoided her. And every other event when she came through the tunnel, they all swarmed her. So I stayed away from her. This time she came out and everyone's like moved away from her. And I followed her and I filmed with her. And then I started following her. And then the guy from Brute.
Torres.
Yeah, that guy, Matt Torres, waved me off. And in hindsight, I wish I wouldn't have taken the wave off. I wish I just would have stayed with her. or made him tell me like a second time.
Yeah.
But
More correct.
Yeah. So there's that lease rents model, and one of the things Souza and I were discussing was if you have this pie and that's the ecosystem. So let's say the ecosystem is $1 million or 1 million chickens, or just you pick your metric. And if CrossFit was taking one chicken and the pie grows, then CrossFit might get 1.2 chickens, and then everyone else also gets more chickens. Well, what Souza and I suspect, and Souza, you tell me if I'm right or wrong, instead of getting more money from outside the ecosystem and bringing it into the ecosystem, the current administration is trying to extract more from that pie. And it gets a little worse than that. If they increase your fees, meaning your affiliate fees, your level 1 fees, just all the fees that they charge, if they increase those, then it's a double whammy. They're taking more from the pie, and then they're using that money to take even more from the pie. So as an affiliate, if you paid your increased affiliate fees, there's a good chance that you're paying more money so that they can put things in place to take more money. You say like what? Like software that they're going to insist that you use, shit like that. And so Souza's, and then Souza, can I say the line you said, Souza?
Yeah.
And then Souza's like, so there's implication here that affiliates are paying money to fund their own demise. Imagine paying someone. It's kind of like the way the left works. You pay those government officials to make more taxes to take more money from you. If that's true, that's a fucking scary concept.
Yeah, the other thing I'm actually in the middle of clipping it out to try to get it shorter, but I took the talk that Greg did that on, like where he was at. I think it was in 2012. Haley actually filmed it.
Was it in his house in Del Mar? Was it on a whiteboard?
No,
no,
okay. It was at some official venue.
My wife Haley filmed it.
Yeah,
yeah.
She's in the.
She was the first female filmmaker at CrossFit. She was the first Jewish female filmmaker at CrossFit. She was the first female Jewish in her 30s. She was an older woman filmmaker at CrossFit. They're going to build them. They're putting a plaque up in her name.
And,
DEI Council is going to put a plaque up.
And during that talk, he explained the lease rents model, and I think that was also where one of the first times he had said that business for him was creating unique opportunities for other people.
Yeah.
And in the lease rents, he talked about exactly what you said. But one of the things that he also said is that if they're taking more of the pie, if that was the strategy, he said, and in fact, his prediction is that CrossFit in and of itself will start to shrink. So essentially, if you have $1 to spend and you spend that whole entire dollar on creating more things that are going to grow the pie, you're therefore, like you said, the whole ecosystem will grow. But if you have $1 and you put 90 cents of that dollar to doing things that are going to grab more portions of the pie, there's not going to be enough money left over for anybody to actually grow it. The affiliates can't grow it.
So if we pay the tax man money, and then they use it to hire more people to walk around to more doors and collect more taxes, as opposed to we pay taxes and they use it to make it easier to run small businesses, then the whole ecosystem grows. So, or if we keep the streets cleaner, or we build a bigger road network that allows for more people to build more businesses on more streets, and then the whole system grows.
That's right. And if CrossFit HQ doesn't view that as its job, then it's nobody's job. So then therefore it doesn't grow.
Right. Damn.
Yeah. And so as an affiliate owner, if we're the ones that are giving that dollar or a portion of that dollar, we're trusting an HQ to allocate that money to stuff that's going to be beneficial to the whole entire CrossFit ecosystem, not just to CrossFit HQ. And in the clip that I have done up, Greg even says, not only do we have the legal obligation because we own the name, he says, but we have the moral obligation to do whatever we can to protect those guys. And he was referring to the affiliates.
What do you think they're using that money for now, then?
To develop more initiatives that'll take more money out of the ecosystem. So whether
that's why they don't have that's why they don't have value in doers, by the way.
Like you mean like app development or something, like something that would
think
or
about
like
every
producing their own
player.
fit aid or like producing their own jump ropes, like
There you
that
go.
kind of
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Think about every player that feeds the economy of an affiliate, right? So you need to have your gym software. I need to have, something that I could have transactions passing through the gym, which often aren't the same things, right? So like workout tracking and money tracking sometimes are different, sometimes are the same software. Then it's all the equipment that passes through there, all the apparel, all the food, all the, all those type of things that make up the ecosystem of the affiliate. Like CrossFit basically is saying like, hey, why don't we making 10 cents off every one of those dollars that's passing through this affiliate? And so rather than allocating money to growing the pie, they're allocating money to figure out how they could extract more from it.
So they can so it makes the business look like it's more profitable than it is.
Yeah. And then if you also start
yes, off of their own. It's incestual.
Right. Okay.
And then at some point, their CrossFit is also saying like, hey, if there's 100 people that do CrossFit, but only 50 of those people do it inside affiliates, how in the world do we make money off the other 50 people doing CrossFit? So that's where their headspace is. How do we extract from those other people that are doing it in the garage? What can we offer them to where we could also make money off them doing CrossFit, not inside of a CrossFit affiliate?
Like a street parking or something like that.
Exactly.
Someone said kind of like McDonald's does. Yeah, but McDonald's is a different beast, but yes.
Well, McDonald's is also a real estate company. So McDonald's makes most of its valuation off real estate.
But using using a lot of the same strategy, then renting that real estate back to the franchises,
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's wild. You think of the people think of like Beyond the Whiteboard or Rogue, right? They're outside the fucking ecosystem, and now they have a vested interest in the ecosystem to succeed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And man, it also kind of reminds me. You can put that same model on what Fikowski was saying. He wants to try to figure out like how to make it better internally. I think that's like would be his intention, but that is not going to make it grow.
No,
not at all.
No. What they need to stop doing for the game's sake is stop worrying about making it a quote unquote professional sport or growing it. They just need to just execute really awesome broadcasting and media to its local audience. It doesn't even need to be all hardcore. And if they did that and allowed more third-party media like to work in conjunction with them, that's how I would say that it would probably grow.
God, the media at UFC is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the crazy access.
And look at the press conferences. And then all those people in those press conferences and everything all get to stand there where the fighters come in. I mean, you guys have seen, you're closer to that than I am, but there's so much third-party media in there. And then part of their contracts, those fighters' contracts, is that they got to go to those press conferences and sit there for the third-party media. Like that's written into their thing. Like, hey, Savon, we know that you lost this fight. It doesn't matter. We need your ass out there because in order for you to get paid, you owe us 90 minutes on this floor.
Yeah.
They even do that for the fight nights, not even just like pay-per-view stuff.
Exactly. Like because they know that
see on ESPN, like you're watching, like you get to see all that.
And exposure is the most important piece there, because the more media that they have, the more access to it. That's just more distribution centers for all your stuff. And then they know that there's going to be these big players that grow up in the space that like, a lot of people follow this guy, a lot of people follow this guy. And then guess what? The people that have the larger followings, you give those people better access. Then Dana White comes on your show,
Tomo Fit went no, sorry. No, where is it? Aaron Fraser. Do you take into account inflation when you think about HQ? What HQ takes? Everything costs more today. Yes, but it's no secret. You just have to this is like 100% true what I'm about to tell you. They raise the affiliate fees for one reason and one reason only. And these numbers may not be accurate, but it will illustrate my point. When Berkshire and this other company, I forget the name of it, purchased CrossFit, when they purchased CrossFit, let's say CrossFit was profitable at $5 million a year. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get it profitable at $10 million a year so that they can sell it for double what they bought it for. And so what they're doing is they did the math and they said, if we raise this by $1,000 and we have 15,000 affiliates, that will be an extra, what is it? 150,000, extra 15 million a year. And so that'll get, and even if we lose 5,000 affiliates, after we do the math, I forget what the numbers are. We still come out an extra 5 million a year, and we've made our goal, and then we can sell the company. That's all. That is, and I'm not saying that that's good or bad. I mean, it's theirs. They can do what they want, but that's the whole premise for that. It's there. Anything that they say beyond that is just justification. It's not. It's not like they own the mom and pop grocery store and the price of milk went up and so they pass it on to the consumer. It's not like that.
No,
for them at all.
And one step further, that is even if they decided, CrossFit HQ decided, hey, you have to pay $10,000 a year for your affiliate ship. My question is like, oh, is this because of inflation? I would prefer to say, okay, great. What are you going to do with the money? So it's not the fact that you increased any prices on me. It's like, what are you now going to do with that money? And we know it's not going to go to just inflation, right? Because that would be a smaller percentage. They would say, hey, we're raising it 5%. Inflation's at 3.7%. So this is how we stay ahead. Okay, that makes sense. But they're not doing that.
And they would celebrate stuff like, hey, we're giving all the employees a raise. That you would hear stuff.
Right. So it's just where are they putting those dollars? And if they're going to take more dollars and then put them to just initiatives that are just there to extract more money from the ecosystem, then that's not a good allocation of dollars, in my opinion.
What the can of worms that we've opened for a long time on this podcast, and the can of worms now that Andrew's opened, that what's interesting, going to see how CrossFit's going to navigate it, is it's very clear we're going through some sort of cultural revolution in the United States. There is like a full-blown, I don't know, type of civil war cultural revolution going on, and CrossFit does not want it penetrating the walls of their business. They do not want to deal with that. They do not want to deal with Andrew showing that they're one of their most senior people has hiring practices that make color the single most important determinant. They do not want to deal with that. They do not want to deal with any of they don't want the cultural revolution coming behind their doors. and I know that, and so it'll be interesting how they navigate that. I don't think CrossFit does ESG scores and shit like that, right? They're not a big enough company. No one gives a shit about them like that.
It depends on Berkshire and the other company that funded it, right? Because usually the ESG score comes into play with like when you have these really big private equity or venture capital companies like funding you, and then that's just a metric that they're going to use to see how many dollars they're going to give you for different things. So I don't know Berkshire's practices or the other company that invested in them to answer that.
And just so people know, because it's confused a lot on the internet, it's not Berkshire owned by
yeah, it's not Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, what is it? It's like Berkshire Partners.
Berkshire Partners.
Who owns Berkshire Hathaway? What's the big guy there? Old guy.
How am I drawing? I remember Charlie Munger, but I can't remember Warren Buffett. Thank you, Caleb.
Yeah, it's not like, Warren Buffett. It's not the Coca-Cola.
The guy from Omaha, from my hometown.
Yeah.
Berkshire Hathaway that the guy drinks a Coke every day and used to own a shitload of Coke.
Yeah.
Mike McCaskey, but certainly operational costs, travel expenses, HQ leases, employee benefits are more costly for CF. Why would affiliate fees be subject? Why would not affiliate be subject to inflation? I totally agree with you. But just so you know, their travel expenses and all that and their employee benefits and all that are at an all-time low. They're way lower than any, they're not even, I bet you they're not even a third of what they were when Greg ran the company. I bet you they're so fucking low. I mean, clearly you can see, I mean, they've we don't get Friday streamed event from the live broadcast, things like that. You can just see it everywhere.
And I don't think we're done seeing money being pulled out of sport yet either.
Yeah, I agree. You mean like we're going to see something this year or next year?
I think the stuff that we've seen this year isn't even what they're talking about in terms of reduction as far as how much money they're putting towards it. I think next year is when we're going to actually see how much money is not, because they might have had a certain amount of budget already allocated for 2024, right? So like last year's budget in 2023, as they were rounding out the games, like I don't know when they do that, but they might look at that and say, okay, what's the profit and loss on this? They might have that done and reconciled within 2 months after the games are done, let's say, just making that up.
Yeah.
But then when they sit down and they comb through that P&L, they're going to be like, okay, wait a minute, guys, we lost again, another $5 million. So in next year's budget, you had, $1 million this year. Now for next year, you only have 750. And we were already,
profit and loss.
P&L's profit and loss. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, profit and loss. So they just look at the money coming in, the money going out, and then just determine, hey, we spent too much again. We're going to reduce the budget again. And you guys need to go through this line item here and just start eliminating a bunch of stuff that isn't absolutely crucial to the competition to get our numbers to match up before we go into next season.
That's why you ditch the Masters and teens.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. The banners that we saw, the Jumbotron from last year at the game. So like they're slowly start eliminating things. And a big arena switch was good for them because they could go really bare bones in there as far as decorations, let's call it. And nobody's going to know the difference because it's a new stadium. As opposed to when we went back into Madison last year, you instantly noticed, wait, there's a big ass Jumbotron that's not here. Oh, they didn't put up the cool banners around the stadium. So you could visually see the reduction in dollars going to it. But at a new stadium, it's a blank slate for everybody. So they could put half the shit out there that they would have normally done, and nobody's going to know.
Next year's going to be interesting.
And also prevent all of the media from going.
Yeah, next year's going to be
yeah.
And
so nobody will see it.
and I think
how many people can show up. Tickets are sold out. Sorry.
I think unless the wounds from all the external relationships that CrossFit has, I think if those basically, I think CrossFit's in a bit of a weird bind with outside media because I think that those relationships are just getting worse. And as those in the last 2 years, outside media has been very supportive of the Open and the games. And I think the relationship is just getting worse and worse and worse. And I think it's going to hit a climax probably post games. And then it's going to be interesting to see the chatter about the games going forward. Instead of it being something we all rally around, it could become something that becomes very divisive. And I'm not hoping for that, but CrossFit has all the power and they can make all the rules. There was this movie Excalibur that I saw when I was a little kid. It was R-rated. It was great. And I want to say that there was a scene where someone had done something to the king, and the king was going to. Everyone thought the king was going to kill this guy, and the king said something. True power is like, showing restraint. Yeah, restraint and forgiveness, as opposed to using it. And it's just there's this. They have all the power and hold all the cards. But they behave like they don't. They behave like that they're weak and turtling. Oh, Liam Neeson was in
Stewart.
That? Wow. I'm gonna go back and watch that. Wow.
Pretty legendary movie, damn.
What year was that? 1981?
81. And Helen Mirren.
Is she still alive?
Yeah, I think so.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think CrossFit lacks leadership too.
Yeah, she's 78 now.
Did the Buttery Bros start covering High Rocks?
Of course they did. Gotta keep those views up.
They probably helped it so much. Man, High Rocks coverage is horrible. I mean, beyond horrible.
Yeah, but everybody's going over there to do it because the judging in CrossFit's so bad.
Because it's funny too that Fikowski uses that as an example because I mean they have no judging standards over there.
Yeah, their rules, they don't even follow their own.
Hey, and they're exploding, right? So they have the exact opposite model of what Fikowski wants, and yet they're exploding over there. They just have like squat, just like throw the ball up.
Just try. It's fine. I'll let you do whatever.
Ryan Kendall, great handstand. Buttery Bros still cover CrossFit, but why wouldn't they cover other sports? I agree, especially since High Rocks welcome them with open arms. I agree, full access for sure. Yeah. Hey, and they're fucking amazing at what they do, and they're gonna bring new flavor to it and energy to it, And yeah, of course. Yeah. Coverage has been good of what? Not of High Rocks. There's no way. I tried to watch a couple of the events that what was our boy's name who doesn't talk to me anymore? Hunter. So yeah, getting the buttery. I mean, shit, they should offer to pay the Buttery Bros. I would incentivize the fuck out of them. I'd fly them out. I'd hook them up. If I was doing any event like that, the New York City Marathon, any of those events should reach out to the Buttery Bros. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
They can bring they can bring eyeballs to anything.
Yep.
You could also it's like if you're an athlete, why would you not invite Andrew Hiller to come do a expose on your athlete? Yeah, Hunter was a few weeks ago. I don't know if it's a cause and effect, but he took 5th in that event, and then he used to respond to my text like within 5 minutes. Now he hasn't responded to my last 3 texts.
Trying to get dialed back in.
Is High Rocks backed by any private equity? I don't know, but I know that High Rocks was created to sell. I think the guy said that on my show, or I saw an interview with him somewhere. The founder, like he's making it to sell it, which isn't uncommon, you know.
The other thing too with High Rocks, don't they? Isn't part of their deal is they pick really good venues, not necessarily like flashy ones, but by good I mean like really big, open, cheap spaces. And then don't they have all of their stuff distributed around to a certain degree to where it's really cheap for them to move everything? Isn't that how they pick the locations?
Maybe.
I bet you distribution of the equipment and venues of where they do it is something that is really thought through and probably helps them a ton financially. Because like, I mean, I don't know how much it costs to get, I keep calling it StubHub Center or Home Depot Center. Like, I don't know how much that fucking costs to rent, but I guarantee you that if you could have run that same exact event at that gym in Stockton and probably had more energy, more people, and saved fucking tens of thousands of dollars on your venue.
Do you know about this site called Google Trends?
Yeah.
So I'll just show you. This is I think these are just based on search words. In red is CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how often the words are searched. And then below is High Rocks.
What's the timeline on that?
Great question. 3 days. Let's go to
over like the last.
Let's go 90 days.
Okay, I was gonna say over 12 months.
We could do that. Past 12
the last
months.
year. Yeah, not even fucking close, dude.
Right.
And look at that spike during what is that? Probably the Open.
May 26th to June 1st.
The bigger one all the way to the left.
Oh, June 30th. That's
games.
the games. Yeah, the games. Massive spike, right?
Yeah. So if we're looking at this and I'm CrossFit on the CrossFit Games and we have that massive spike right there in Google searches, and you have, hundreds of people that are willing to make you free.
That was
free
US.
content.
That was US, by the way, and here's worldwide. Not much different.
Yeah, probably mimics it a little bit more. And I could see the CrossFit Games becoming way more of I think somebody said in the comments too, like Nick said, because isn't that what Greg said? It was going to be the Woodstock of fitness.
I mean, it's lost its way from that. He wanted it to be that, but now it's completely lost it. As people like Fikowski and others want to turn it into a sport, it's going to completely lose that.
Yeah, because I think you could almost do the same lease rent model for that, meaning instead of expanding into more competition, like reduce it down to just the individuals. Sorry, people that are on teams, but it's just a participation trophy for you anyways. So cut those out of it completely. Just go individual. and then have a lot, like rather than Vendor Village having a tent that Plunge has, 3 ice baths at, and you have to do your thing, like give them a free space where you could have 20 ice baths and then do different stuff with other partners like weightlifting, and then bring in like Cal Strength or one of these other things and give them 20 platforms and have Rogue outfit the whole thing and have, Bergner there teaching, and you could bring in Wes Kitts, who is an Olympic snatcher from us. You could bring in Matty Rogers and have them run class. So like it's more, and then have them bring in their partners as well too, right? All the brands and stuff that's been those small ecosystems. And then that way you just become the major event of the summer that is fitness. And rather than having it just be about the CrossFit Games, that's like, the big pool, but there's also all this. I mean, look at Jesse Itzler and his whole entire Run Day on the Hill. I mean, he built the largest sauna in the world for that event, right? Like they do this big, like there's lots of different stuff that you could do.
He did build the world's largest sauna.
I think so.
That's funny.
And
That's
they
awesome.
put the whole thing up and it was huge. So you could do multiple different things like that, where there's like highlights of these other, trends, if you even want to call it, or partners or brands, to where you don't really necessarily have just the events. Yeah, that's his thing right there.
Oh my God. My dad did one of his events and he loved it.
Yeah.
Said it was great.
Hey, they're doing yoga in there and shit like that. So that's what I think you could do, and you would end up creating more people. You'd have people that would come to this thing and be like, "Oh, I don't even watch the individuals. I don't follow CrossFit much." You know what I mean? But they're still just like there as part of that health and wellness Woodstock.
Add a little Burning Man into it. Hey, look at this. Just look at this. So this is the WNBA and CrossFit basically run neck and neck until Caitlin Clark shows up.
Damn.
Crazy, right? It's funny how those individuals sometimes choose that. Like Froning did that for CrossFit for sure.
Subsidized by the NBA. Completely subsidized by the NBA.
That's right.
Just a complete loss.
I saw somewhere they're going to lose money this year.
Of course they are.
Everybody got private jets and
Did you see this dude who's 7'9", this college kid? And he moves great. He can just dunk like standing under the basket. He's
7'9".
Yeah, he's 4 inches taller than Yao Ming.
Albeit okay.
He's in college now.
Or is he a white guy?
A white guy. I was seeing some footage of him. His neck is so long, but he's the most normal giant human I've ever seen. I can't believe how well 7'9". He's about to become. Yeah, look at him. He's not jumping there, I don't think. Crazy, right?
That's nuts.
Yeah, they say he's going to play 1 year. In an interview with Guinness, as a 16-year-old, the Canadian said he likes being noticed and interacting with people because of his height. Yeah, they say he's going to do 1 year in college and then straight to the NBA. Caller, hi.
It's Dylan.
Hey, Dylan, what's up, dude?
Well, I sound too enthused that I'm calling.
Oh, Dylan, hi. Hold on one second.
yeah.
The connection's shitty. The connection's shitty. Hold on.
Like, do we have?
We're only allowed to do one phone call at a time with a good connection. Dylan, yay! Dylan, yay!
Don't you have a soundboard? Can't you do like applause, something?
There, you got
it. You didn't just hear it? You got the whole shebang.
Hey, it's cool that the CrossFit Games
okay.
on Friday are going to be free, by the way. 18,000 people that place holds. I hope people take advantage of that and bring all their family and friends. That's really cool. Okay, go ahead, Dylan.
I took a last-minute fight. I fight next weekend.
Oh, you took a last-minute fight, not flight.
I thought he said flight, too.
Oh, sorry.
Where are you fighting?
For the Ohio Combat League in Columbus.
Wow. Do they have a website?
Probably. I don't know. Honestly, one of my teammates got hurt, and I said that, give me, I'll step in place of him. So I don't really know much about it. I just said, literally yesterday we confirmed it. So
Holy shit! Oh, what weight class are you fighting?
185.
And tell me the exact date again.
Whatever next weekend is, I don't know. The 29th.
Are you training? Are you gonna? Is there any training you can do? Are you in shape? Are you ready to fight?
Yeah, dude, I do CrossFit, son. Let's go.
Yeah, boy. June 20th. Hey, will it be on YouTube?
I think it'll be its own like streaming network. So it's probably like gonna have a link to, or it'll have a on its website, stream it on there or something.
Can you get it for us so we can all watch it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be dope. I'd love to do that.
I'm gonna be wearing my Paper Street Coffee shorts, of course.
So then, if
got a shout out to.
It's Saturday night, Dylan.
Yes, sir.
So we have Kill Taylor in the morning, and then Dylan Val will fight in the evening.
That's right.
Oh,
Kill
Dylan. We have Devin
Awesome.
Lorette on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is the Devin we were talking about in 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't have his last name in the new
Wow.
phone number
This
saved.
week,
And I was like,
listen to who we got this week.
How
We got Dylan Vowell right now. Then tomorrow we have Chad Sorrentino, and then affiliate. I think he's affiliate owner, affiliate series. Then we have Devin Lorette on Tuesday. Wednesday, Greg Glassman. On Tuesday, the Matt
Thursday.
Souza show.
Oh,
On
yeah.
Thursday, Shelby Neal. And on Friday, no one yet. Awesome.
Friday's open. Yep.
Oh, look, he found it. Ohio Combat League. Holy shit. Caleb found it in the dark web. Doors
Look,
open
they
at
have
5
like a
p.m.
pay-per-view.
Oh. Let me see. Click that pay-per-view. I want to see how that works. Hey, congrats, dude. Are you excited? Did you ever think you'd fight again?
Yeah. No, I knew I was going to fight again. I've tried multiple times, but a lot of things, people get injured and fighters pull out and things like that, So it's just been a long run of, I've had a dry spell, so to speak. But now I'm getting my dick wet again.
Good on you. How's the kid, by the way, speaking of getting your dick wet? How are kids? How's the wife and kids?
Good. Very good. Baby girl is, fuck, just have kids if you don't. I don't know. It's the best fucking thing ever.
Yay.
Yeah. No, she's a little active, she's just a tornado. She runs around and plays with the chickens and freaking she's a little hillbilly baby, we'll put it that way. Barefoot in the grass.
Awesome.
Hey,
do you know the
all
guy
day,
you're
every
do you
day.
know the guy you're fighting?
Braden something.
Is he any good?
I don't know. I know I'm pretty good, so I guess we just got to find out, don't we?
Yeah. Hey, did you watch Dalton Rosta's fight?
Yeah, dude.
That was fucking intense, right?
Dude, that who was the cat? Yeah, you interviewed him too.
Norbert.
Yeah, that dude was cool, man. As much as I like Dalton, that dude was cool.
He was crazy cool. How strong was Dalton Rosta? He was just in the first 2 rounds. He was just having his way with Norbert.
Hey, I really don't think people understand what that feels like.
To go against someone as strong as Dalton, you mean?
Yeah, when somebody can wrestle like he can and can grab you and it is that strong,
yeah,
it's confusing. You can't even comprehend. Like he's just like doing whatever he wants. He's throwing me around like a pillow.
Yeah,
it's quite literally feels that way when someone's that good and that strong. We have guys like that in the gym, and when you know how to fight and you know how to defend it, it's even crazier that somebody's doing this to you. It's not like you're just some like layman, that doesn't train.
Right.
So to all the people out there that criticize, ground game or, cage wrestling, like when they're standing up and leaning up against the cage, it's like most people don't train and they don't get it. I know. But if I told another grown man that I can hold him up against the wall and there's not a fucking thing he can do about it, he would look at me in my face and call me a liar. And I'd have to prove it to him.
And then he'd feel
that's the disparity of people. That's the disparity of people who train and don't train.
Yeah,
makes sense.
It's
Makes
funny.
sense.
It's funny how often people that don't train or have never put themselves in a situation where they've been on the mat, like have such strong opinions and confidence about like how they would perform.
yeah, the armchair
It always-
quarterback classic, right?
Dude, it cracks me up because like you go to one day of jujitsu and they throw you up against like, you know, the white belt with one stripe there, and they just have their way with you. You quickly realize like, oh shit, this isn't just because I'm a dude I can fight. Like there's a whole set of skills that come with this. And it's funny just to watch people just get completely humbled the first time that they're on the mats too.
That's why everybody should go into a gym. Yeah, you know, like at least learn for yourself. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you don't commit to it. That's fine. But just know, you know, just feel it once. Just a tip.
Go ahead.
Just a tip. No, I was just gonna say it's just crazy when you think about that. In law enforcement, they don't require like at least a blue belt level competency in jiu-jitsu. Like it's absolutely insane because I have very little training, but I know that if I come up against somebody who's untrained, just the fact that I know to control a position and I have a game plan as to what I'm going to do in this fight puts you already leaps and bounds ahead of somebody who's completely untrained that's just running off adrenaline. The other thing too is like if you've never been in a fight, and you know this, Dylan, like if you're just in this panicked neck breathing, the fight's going to be over before it really starts. So like, unless you have some sort of acclimation to being in that sort of physical violent contact with another human to where you could kind of slow your breathing down to where you could actually make an intelligent decision, like people just completely underestimate the amount of work that takes and how quickly that scenario gets out of your control if you're not trained.
Couldn't have said it better. I can't stand seeing videos of fucking useless cops that can't fight. Drive me fucking nuts.
Crazy.
They get themselves into some shit. They get themselves into some dangerous fucking shit because they can't fucking fight. And it just drives me nuts. And that's how people get shot too. Like, it's like, hey, and I'm all for like the, hey, you know what I mean? Don't fuck with the cops, or you know what, you like, that's what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? And I'm all for that. You know, you should fucking, at the end of the day, don't get in that fucking situation as a civilian.
Right.
But it's still like, hey, if that cop knew how to fight, he wouldn't have had to shoot him.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So, like in some scenarios, there's plenty that, you know, obviously are much different situations, but I digress. The point is, I think everybody should learn how to fight, and everybody should carry some kind of fitness, no matter what genitalia you like. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But,
Dalton did an incredible job. Every time that Norbert threw, I felt in the first two rounds, Dalton just level change, went under the punch, took him down. It was wild. It was wild to see someone manhandle Norbert like that. And then obviously we saw what happened in the third down. I basically just saw Dalton got gassed, right?
Yeah, but that it's hard to say. Yes, he did get gassed, but it's so hard to even. Because you can't even comprehend that level of fitness to do that for that long.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's required just to gas out late in the second or the third or whenever he finally.
Wasn't it fascinating too that Norbert couldn't finish Dalton? It was almost like he didn't know where to hit him.
Hey, dude, it's hard. It's really fucking hard to finish people like that. Like it punches, you know, I can't describe it, but like you can be ground and pounding somebody. And it's actually pretty difficult to
turn their switch off.
Hit them clean, turn their switch off exactly. Unless they're, you know, you already hit a button and they're really rocked, then you know that's when the ref should step in anyway. And all you got to do is kind of pound on them. It doesn't matter where you're hitting them. But if you're trying to put them away and you smell blood in the water, it's a lot harder when you still got movement and a bit of awareness where you're moving your head and kind of blocking a little bit. It's hard for that guy to land punches. They get through, but it's just the perception.
Dalton was really hard on himself in the post-fight interview too.
He's just that guy, man.
Yeah.
You know,
he expects a lot.
Like
from
you don't
himself.
get to that level. Yeah, exactly. You don't get to that level without having that crazy sheer, like all or nothing fucking. And because that emotional, like, you know, kind of like frustrated with himself thing is, that's like all the hard work, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's like being Rich Froning and then and about to win the CrossFit Games, and then you can't do rope climbs.
Damn.
And then you take second.
Yeah.
Like fuck. And Dave even said, like, if he can't do one rope climb, we're not even gonna give him the title.
Right.
Which is crazy. But yeah, it's just that. It's all that hard work, man. I mean, it hurts because you're like all that time and effort. Plus, you know how you always say, you ask people with like, there's been people with ailments and things like that, and you ask them like very earnestly, you say, hey, like, is it hard for you to understand like you're a burden? And that's a very like honest question, right? And that's, I think, is a perception that nobody ever sees.
I didn't hear the question. Is it hard for you to understand? Is it hard for you to what?
Like you've asked people in the past with certain ailments that require help or diseases,
Yeah.
you know, that require a lot of time and money and stress from their family.
Yeah.
You ask these people like, hey, is that hard on you to understand like that you're fucking with other people's lives inadvertently?
Right,
like,
right.
you know, you're a toll.
Right.
You're a burden, you know,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
a question I feel like we never ask. That's how fighters are too. And I imagine these CrossFit athletes, like Hunter makes fun of, that live in a CrossFit gym, you know, and work out 19 hours a day. Like, it's because they're sacrificing all that time away from family, and you know, maybe they have a kid, and it's financial hardship, and they're doing it all over. You know, for one, it's always consistent, but where you're in that 8-week camp, it's like they're really putting their wife through a lot, their kids through a lot, you know, and they're like, I gotta make it worth it, right?
Right.
And when you lose that, that's part of like, damn, my team's sacrifice for me, all the hard work they put into me, all the sacrifice my wife dealt with, my kids not seeing me, us being financially, you know, struggling financially, whatever the case is, all of that shit, it feels like it's not worth it when you lose. So, you know, it's bigger to them, obviously. And that's the shit, that's just all the other shit that most people don't see unless you're a fan, right?
Dylan,
Yeah.
stay in touch, okay, dude, so that we can find out when your fight is. Please call in Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Later, Dylan.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Goodbye.
He didn't hear you, Caleb. I hung up. Clock. It was far worse than that. He could do rope climbs with his feet, but he decided, like a real blockhead, that he needed to be cool and do them legless. Big blunder in CF history. Wow, is that true?
To be a blockhead. No, he didn't know how to fucking climb a rope with his legs.
You ever think Seth will get him on to watch that and do what he's been doing?
Oh my God, that'd be crazy.
Dude, he had Khalip on during the Amanda, the first Friday night lights
he
at
did?
the yeah, and it was that snatch video where I don't know if any of you guys have seen this, but you should definitely go check it out. And he's just chasing the bar around, and at one point he like it almost hits the camera, then they cut to a different camera angle, and Jason's sprawled out face down, the bar's rolling away, and the other camera guy's still like running away from the collision that almost was. He also had Scott Panchek on there when they talked about the handstand push-up front squat burpee event where Rich and Scott jumped across the line almost at the same time.
And Rich put the bar behind him.
They did that one too. He did that with Chase, and Chase actually said that ushered in the new rule. From that point forward, you always had to go over the top of the barbell. But no, it was the same regional, I believe. But it was the one, oh, there's Seth right there. But it was the one where Scott jumped on his mat like right before, and you could tell he like clearly his feet landed before. Like he knew he won.
They gave it to Rich.
He lost. No, I think they called it a tie, and then ended up giving it to like Rich because he had more first place finishes or something. I can't remember the exact outcome, but Rich got the win. And yeah, this one. So Seth,
I remember being here for this. This was pretty funny to watch. I mean, sad but funny.
I mean, look at that. Look at the stands too, which is crazy. It's almost got full circle, huh? 2010, first year at the then StubHub Center.
I think Jason was winning that, and he just imploded.
That happened often with him. Remember, that was the whole thing. He came out super hot. He'd be like well in front of everybody, and he did it again. If you remember the first slam ball workout, where it was the handstand parallettes and the 150-pound D ball. And you had to do the cleans, and then you had to carry it down, drop it, do the handstand push-up. Yeah, that one. He sprawled out the bars over there.
Damn.
Camera guy can't get away.
And the judge brought it back to him. I don't know if they'd tolerate that now.
Yeah, no, you'd have to go get it.
And look at the crane behind him. That's not an ideal spot.
You know what's funny, too, is we could broadcast this probably with the same exact technology for about 1/10 of the cost now compared to 2010. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Seth, you should see if you could get Rich on to talk about the infamous 20. What was that? Was it 2010? Yeah, it was that same year, right? 2010 rope climb.
Hey. I did. I had the still shot on his camera that started showing Scott beating Rich and was annoying the shit out of Dave. Oh, that's awesome. I vaguely remember that. All right, I just hit a wall.
Okay, cool. Your voice was back.
Yeah, kind of, right?
Yeah, that was good. I was interested. Curious as today was gonna go.
Seth from Jump Ship. Jason was such a good sport about me making him watch this back with me. Yeah, he's good. He's making a good rounds on podcasts right now. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, that was epic. So glad you had him on.
All right, Caleb. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. See you guys tomorrow morning with Chad's Sorrentino. What is the name of his gym?
He does the I think
know he
it's
has
the thing for autism, right? Or
I always see him with kids with or adults with coach, veteran, general manager of Caution Fitness Facility. I just see him always doing this stuff with people with Down syndrome.
yeah, I think that's what it is.
Man, so many people for so back. David Gore back when Progenics was selling bags of protein for $85. God,
do you remember that?
Place, dude. Everybody's selling supplements for $85.
Yeah, this is it.
Everyone's people have been asking me to have this guy on for so long.
That's awesome.
Hey, Russell Berger. I can't remember. I think Russell Berger took a picture of a cat with its tail up and put the progenic symbol on its butthole. This is like early Photoshop days, and posted on the CrossFit Instagram. And dude, Progenics was so fucking pissed, and it was this huge debacle. I mean, just think about how crazy we used to be.
Yeah, that shit.
They were a major sponsor, and Russell Berger took the Progenics sign, put it on a cat's butthole, and Progenics could have leaned into it, but
they should have leaned into it.
Dude,
yeah.
It was this huge God, they were so fucking gnarly. They were so gnarly.
I think they started calling it dog food after a while. Progenics. Do you remember that?
I don't, but it doesn't. They were wild. They were so fun to have. I remember. God, Pat Sherwood, what a fucking douche canoe. He stopped following. That douche canoe stopped following CrossFit social media because of them.
Because of Progenics?
Yeah. God, I should do a whole show telling Sherwood stories one time.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, yeah, Russell was a legend. Russell Berger was a legend. Berger, I mean, he is a legend. He's
still a legend. Just watch Call Planet Fitness.
I would live on a if he had if I had to pick someone without a vagina to be stranded on an island with, I'd pick him. Oh, do it right now. I got time. No, I don't want to pick on Pat Sherwood. He's not stable. All right. He can't take it.
Unstable.
How many people are there that just can't take shit these days? I just told you douche canoe story number 1, Pat Sherwood. He worked at CrossFit, probably making $200,000 a year and I unfollowed the social media.
That was when unfollowing was a big deal, right?
I guess. Bye Twitch. Nice to see you.
This guy's cool. The other dude was sensitive.
Everybody else on Twitch is a bunch of degenerates.
Yeah.
Pat was I had him on the CrossFit podcast. They were great shows. He was great on those shows too. I did 2 shows with them. He was great. He one time, but okay, I'm going to tell you one more douche canoe story. One time he told someone who was on the podcast, you know everything on the internet's forever. You know everything on the internet's forever. Like he shouldn't be, he was telling the guy he shouldn't be on the show with me because of all the crazy shit I did. And then ironically, he should have listened to his own fucking message, because then when story number 3, Pat Sherwood, when the black square thing happened, This fucking guy's making $200,000 a year, taking $200,000 a year from Greg Glassman, but makes a video saying he's de-affiliating and disparaging Greg. God, that kind of listen, motherfucker. Listen. Look, oh, that's a great picture. Okay, that was 3 stories. I mean, there's just fucking so many. Can you imagine taking $200,000 a year from someone and then fucking go and then like, hey, dude, if you don't like what Greg said, quit your fucking job. Low integrity motherfucker. Anyway, that's okay. And he, I could go. He was allowed to like sell shirts that said like CrossFit affiliate and shit when he didn't even have an affiliate. Like he was an affiliate that didn't have a location. That was like against the rules.
Yeah, you had to have an address.
Oh, you're getting white people perm today? Wow. So your hair will look like pubic hair on your head?
She'll post a picture of it. Odd. Make sure you get a photo.
I'm sure was top 3 highest paid like peons in the office, like the peons below my level. Thank you, Caleb. I appreciate you smiling. Like as far as the peons went, as far as the lower the non-Jews, he was probably like the highest paid Gentile.
Are you squeezing that?
I mean, Heidi. I have unlimited stories about this guy who's a douche, but he's okay. I mean, he's just a mortal. I don't hold him to the standards like that I hold Caleb.
I kept hearing that, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Did I remember? Okay, he's got his.
You are not the same height as me.
Rip curlers.
You look shorter than Sevi.
It's right there in the photo. She's shorter than you. You can see the photo at her. Yeah. Look at that.
Dude, I'm a giant compared to Audrey. Pat Lang, why the fuck was Greg paying guys $200 a year for that back then? That's just dumb. I got nothing for you. I got nothing for you. I will so Pat Shore was like he could do anything. He was very versatile. I mean, not like if he was like a Swiss Army knife, like the 3-blade one. Russell Berger was like the 10-blade one. Russell could really do anything, but like you could put Pat in any situation and he could do it. He was eminently capable. You know what I mean? Run a L1, Flowmaster, teach a course, get in front of the camera, program. I mean, he could like, you know what I mean? Write an article. I mean, do a podcast. He could do it all. But still not worth. Sevi, which testicle hangs lower, the right or the left? Mine is the left, but it's significant, and it's significant. Do you think this means that one testicle works harder? Like, does that one provide more semen and sperm? I understand. I understand. I don't know. I've never even looked to see if mine. In my mind, that mine hang perfectly symmetrically. Maybe you have more pubic hairs on one.
I think that's to keep them out of the way of each other.
He definitely waxes his nuts, right, Pool Boy? He has no pubic hair, right?
Yeah. He waxes his taint. I guarantee it. He's got a fucking clean butthole.
Yeah. Pat, if Sherwood was making 200, you had to be making 500 easy. Easy. I mean, I was filthy. I'm filthy rich. You should know that by now.
What sounds like me, Ken? Sounds like me. I saw Heidi was writing comments about like the salaries being paid.
Yeah.
It's always funny. Like, I mean, I'm sure there might have been some sort of metric, but typically you would put a metric to somebody's salary. I can't pay you 200 grand if you're not bringing in 400 grand worth of revenue to some degree.
Right.
Or your operation isn't, or it's not directly correlated. So like, it's not about like Greg keeping more for himself or less for himself. The decision should have just been made simply on like output and input.
Yeah.
Like that's it, right? I could justify paying you millions of dollars because if the media is the number one growth of affiliates and in whatever it was 2014 or 15 when there was like 3,400 affiliates that opened that year or just whatever that peak year was. I mean, you could justify paying you, like I said, millions of dollars for that because every direct report underneath you was producing the content that was spinning that wheel.
Before anyone gets crazy though, like I was in a league of my own though. There was no one who could do what I was doing. I was in a complete, and I'm not even trying to say it to be my usual arrogant self. I was in a whole, I even did gay shit. No, yes, gay. I mean, I did it all. I was in a complete league of my own. The tasks and the level that I performed and how often I performed, I was fucking nuts. But I wasn't a Swiss Army knife really like Pat or Sherwood. I had my lane.
Ken said I was a 12 blade. Thank you, Ken.
Oh, for sure.
12 blade.
The collector's edition, like the one that's made of wood that has the magnifying glass.
Whoa.
Souza.
Big time.
Oh, you guys are gonna make me blush.
All right. See you guys tomorrow morning. Love you guys. Souza, thanks for coming on. Caleb, great to see you, man. It's been a while. Bye-bye.